DC, I just got to ask this very, very specific question. What the hell were you all thinking when you thought this was going to fix it, where this is going to coming up with an event comic in a crisis time period for their company when they don't even have a singular continuity going on, and you have three major parties doing a Game of Thrones style gameplay trying to compete who would have the biggest continuity universe. You have House Didio trying to implement his New 52. You have House Johns trying to implement the Rebirth era. And now you have House Snyder, which is essentially his Justice League, everything in the DC Universe stuff, and Heroes in Crisis, and Flash Forward, and all that stuff. So, okay, yeah, this is like, okay, now this is not a dig on the event. So, what happened is that this is the big event comic that's been building up for the past year or so, since the events of Dark Knight's Metal and Year of the Villain. So, okay, here's the best way to describe it. So, remember those stories that when you get into them, you are emotionally invested in them, as in they tell you what's going on in an in-universe organic way, where if you're not caught up, like, say, if you didn't read Infinite Crisis' build-up stuff, they tell you some of the more important stuff that happened in order to build up, in order for you to get ready and noticing what's going on. Dark Knight's Death Metal issue number 1 does not do that. If anything, it's telling you, oh, to understand this, you gotta read all the Year of the Villain stuff, essential material. You have to read Hell Arisen. You have to read Flash Forward. You have to read, read the Generation stories that never happened because 5G got canceled. You gotta have to listen to, you have to read Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, Zero Hour. How many more continuity stories we gotta read that in order for all this to make sense? Also, we gotta read Heroes in Crisis to understand what the hell is going on with Wally West. Oh, and we gotta read Doomsday Clock, and that's just the tipping point of all that. There is so much content that we must ingest in order to get this story to understand it. It's possibly the biggest detriment you can do for an event comic. In my opinion, and I believe even Linkara would think this. He's mentioned this in his Final Crisis review. But, yeah. Yeah, I got the Arger variant of Wonder Woman with the chainsaw because we can't go as metal as we can. But essentially, the backstory is basically trying to make everything that's happened so far in DC history finally matter, finally connect, finally continuity, and end all the snarls and hiccups they committed. Good luck with that. But when I heard this, I was thinking to myself, how? How are you supposed to compete when... Like, I'm not saying Scott Snyder's a bad writer. I think he's a good writer. But it's just when I think of stories where you have to fix the continuity and try to retcon stuff in an organic way, I think Jeff Johns or Grant Morrison or Mark Waid, like those kind of writers. Like Jeff Johns, like we all know how Jeff Johns is with his stories. And Jeff Johns got done with an event comic just a year prior after so many frequent delays that killed the Rebirth Initiative for many. And now you got this crisis going on where originally Dan DiDio wanted to call Dark Knight's Metal Dark Crisis because we're edgy, in order to end the Rebirth Initiative because he hates progress. Scott Snyder fought against that, and Jeff Johns was on his side because it's Jeff Johns and he had the power. He got the power. So you got all this, and then when DC Rebirth ended by Dan DiDio's directive, then you had all this stuff going on with the DC Universe label, all the stories going off in their own directions, and Didio not really caring because, hey, we're getting rid of all that pesky hopeful stuff. We're making Superboy Jonathan Kent become more brooding. We're trying to get rid of him. We're trying to divorce Superman and Lois Lane again because I hate them. And I hate Wally West, so I'm going to make him a mass murderer and blame it on Tom King. Because we're edgy. And we're going to do all this horrible stuff in order to make this story go to the direction I want instead of what the Johns and the fans all wanted. And Jeff Johns is going to write his pesky doomsday clock. It's not even going to matter. It's going to be an out-of-continuity stuff. And then I'm going to just reboot the whole universe and finally do the things I want to do and do it in a logical way. Like get rid of all the legacy characters, those pesky hero successors that are never going to become the heroes. I'm going to have Nightwing shot in the head, lose his memory, denounce the Nightwing name. And, oh god, this is seriously going to take forever. So, that's possibly the biggest problem people have with this because, like I said, it's like Game of Thrones politics. And the Game of Thrones politics make more sense. Because you have 3 houses. House Jeff Johns, House Didio, and House Snyder. Scott Snyder, to be exact. Not the Zack Snyder, who's currently building up his Justice League cut of Zack Snyder cut. But, yeah, so this is... And Jeff Johns was out of the game, so it was left to Didio and Scott Snyder to try and fix everything. Then Didio got fired, the 5G initiative was canceled, which disputes the whole DC will go out of business thing, because if they were, that 5G would have still been happening even without Didio's guidance. Loosely. But yeah, so much stuff, so much content was having to be pumped out, and now you got this messed up timeline where they were going with the Grant Morrison approach of everything happened, everything matters. And even though we don't acknowledge Stephanie Brown as Batgirl for a time, or even Cassandra Cain, because reasons, even though we're saying everything matters. So, now you get this event that's supposed to be the cure, to fix everything, to fix all the continuity issues, to fix all the messes that they've made. And, oh boy, I'm gonna give Snyder some credit. He's gonna try, damn it, he's gonna try. Ultimately, House Snyder wins this war for DC Comics power. Not like Jim Lee's not really doing anything, but, so, yeah, all this stuff, Justice League 39, Hell Arisen, everything, you have to read a ton of stuff to get what the hell is going on. And then even then, you're probably lost because then you read the Batman books, and it was like, there's no mention of this, and then you gotta read the Superman books, no mention of this, and there's also House Bendis, but really no one cares about him. But, yeah, this is the problem. Like, you could have the most well-written story in existence, but when you have a continuity that's so rearranged the furniture game and musical chairs, it's not going to work. So, we get a character that I have never seen before up until this point. Found out that his name is Sergeant Rock because I had to do research for an event comic. Because, yeah. And he's a World War II character, so I'm wondering how the hell is he here. So, yeah, we open up with this big explosion. He turns on those lights and says, well, look at this. I told him you show. Sergeant, the hit you took, you're seeing things. Let's move. We're losing ground. Keep your trunks on, Flyboy. Hey, we gotta be straight with them. Let them know what they're getting into. Truth is, it's rough out there. And then in that explosion, alright, more than rough. It's grade A turd burger. Or none of us saw. It's like you're at the drive-thru, and how comes your juicy half-pounder on none? What the hell is he talking about? Turd and your fries? Kablam! Curdly turds. And the guy inside, he's smiling, saying no refunds. So here we are. No warning, no reason, in a new world of turds. Now, maybe I am seeing things out there, but what I see are soldiers. So you listen to Uncle Rock. Put your car in park, take that hot steaming turd burger, and shove it down that guy's throat. Why? To show him all, we're still here, we're fighting back, and we're gonna have some fun doing it. Hoorah! That was the first page. So then we get to the death metal title called Death Metal and Anticrisis Part 1, It All Matters. By Scott Hallow Be Thy Name Snyder. That definitely doesn't sound egotistical. Greg Painkiller Capula. Yeah, I think Chris Jericho might be pissed at you for that, because when he trademarked Painkiller or Painmaker. And then we get this map of the DCEU. No, sorry. I kept thinking DCEU because I was thinking of the movie for a sec. DCU, and we get a map, Arkham Wastelands, Fall of Captain Atom. So basically he exploded probably. Megapocalypse, Themyscira, The Hellscape, Castle Bat. It begins with inks, Jonathan Motor Breath, Capolan, colors, lettering, yeah. Oh, by the way, there is one detail I do remember. Okay, so if I'm correct in what I'm about to say, and I tremendously could be wrong, let's see. They've been doing the social distancing stuff. But, oh yeah, you also gotta read Blackest Night to understand what the hell happened there. And virtually every Green Lantern comic Jeff Johns ever wrote. So, yeah, more continuity you have to read in order to understand what the hell's going on. So, we see Wonder Woman with an electric chainsaw in hell. Yeah. Formerly Themyscira, the DCU. Yes, the real DCU. Wonder Woman. Diana, I bring news. He had to say again because Diana was too busy focusing on building this chainsaw of truth. Well, bad or worse, he's coming and he's bringing a prisoner. Yeah, we see Swamp Thing being a horribly mutilated character. But at least they're tying in Justice League Dark finally. Huh. Didn't know there were villains left in the world above to imprison here, Swamp Thing. Oh, I can think of a few hundred up there at least. Pointy ears, bats on their chest. You're in the mood, Alec. Who is he bringing? I'm not sure, but it's someone important. He has muscle with him. I sense 3 bats. 3? What prisoner needs that kind of protection? I don't know, but they're here to see you. So yeah, we get this scene where we see the chainsaw of truth and the invisible jet, because apparently Diana's doing something with it. It will be explained later, as you know, as a cut, and the invisible jet. But okay, Diana goes ahead with Swamp Thing and goes to see what's going on. Then we see Riddler coming in and saying, "Come on, let us out!" Oh, there we see another one that looks to be Mr. Freeze screaming, "You can't keep us in here forever!" And Swamp Thing tries to reassure Diana, saying, "Don't let them get under your skin. You are saving them, and many more than them, by playing this part. Think of your sisters. I think about them every day, and my friends, and all the good people who study with us, now bound to those antennas. They're all I think of to get me through this nightmare, but until we have some way to saving them, free as tyrant!" And I don't know who that is. It looks to be Man-Bat, but I could be horribly, horribly wrong. Then we see the Joker, who's supposedly dead by this time, according to the logic of Joker War that's coming out soon. But yeah, once again, more confusion. Psst! Wonder Warden! I think you're doing a bang-up job, ma'am! And Swamp Thing is naturally pissed and takes the glasses from him. "Joker, where did you get these? You know that symbol is forbidden to any... He save his dark knights. If they catch you, they'll make us throw you in the pits." "Hey, go ahead. The world up there is ruled by Batman, so to me, down here is really Paradise Island." And Joker laughs. Then we see the Dark Knights. "Diana, you took your time. I was busy disposing of my old jet on your master's orders, and I wouldn't want to insult you by dressing in full regale." "Huh. The invisible jet. Good. Soon those miscreants won't even see the chains that bind them. Well done. You serve our master well." "Well, we're almost out of our cells. I don't know where you expect me to put this new one in." "Oh, this one isn't going in the cell. Open the pits." The pits? Who the hell are you asking me to lock up? It doesn't matter. Oh, it all matters. Yeah, we're gonna be subtle about it. Everything matters. Not really. And then we see a gigantic dinosaur screaming at Diana. Do as you're told, or it'll be your sister screaming in the pits. Speak of my sisters again, reptile. Reptile! I'm Batman, same as the others of my world. Bruce uploaded his consciousness into a robotic dinosaur in the last moments before the cave collapsed on him, and so on. I've heard it all before. It doesn't make you Batman. Yes, it does. Can you throw batarangs with those tiny arms? They're proportional, and I'm working on it. All right, can you drive a Batmobile? What I can't do is eat you whole. So yeah, in one dark multiverse reality, Batman apparently turned into a dinosaur. Okay, can we just be honest? This is not going to fix anything. This is more like Scott Snyder is letting his imagination run wild, and when DC asked him, hey, we want to do a sequel to Dark Knight's Metal. What do you propose how we can make this more metal? Dinosaur Batman. I like this kid's vision. Anything else? Oh, you'll see. Okay, what do you need? Yes. Just yes. Calm, everyone. We will open the pits. Our Lord has called the Justice League to his side. Along with the handlers, we meet by Castle Bat. You will join us. As he wishes, the tower's pits are open. Excellent, Batman. Take him down. And naturally, also the dinosaur Batman, I gotta stress, he's everything Linkara imagined a cartoonish, childish Batman is. Gotta give him credit for seeing the future. So we see Crimson Batman going ahead, leading the prisoner down, and then we hear the hooded person say, Diana, remember. AKA, he is Vulcan, and he's pulling a Wrath of Khan search for Spock moment. Okay. You can't be. Come now, Diana. We don't want to leave our master waiting, do we? And then we get some narration by the Batman Who Laughs. When I was a boy, I loved coming to this field. I tried out my first bat right there, under the oak. I learned to ride a bike on the path just behind you. One day I asked my father why we came here so often, when there was all this open land around our house. My father, he told me this wasn't just a park, but also a graveyard, the site of a great battle more than 2.5 centuries earlier, during the Revolutionary War. See, the British had tried to crush the rebel spirit of Gotham City, but all these freedom fighters wouldn't give in. Instead, they hid out in the tunnels and caverns, fighting at night from the shadows. They beat drums in the dark to spook the British before attacking. Some called themselves the Dead Bats. Eventually, the British lit the tunnels on fire and killed them all, left them in the shallow graves here beneath this field. They called them deadbeats in the crown papers, drums that went silent. It scared me hearing this, all those dead people right beneath the ground. But my father gestured to the sunlit field and flowers and children playing. He told me we do it to honor the dead. They suffered and died in the dark to make this field what it is now. Look around, son, my father said. All of it is a testament to those who fell, and whoever will ever fell, all fighting for good. I can't help but wonder what those dead bats would think. If they can see this place now! So we see Batman Who Laughs, his army of Robin Jokerized bats, including a Robin dragon, 2 dragons, the Crow Robins perched on rooftops. And then we get more long-winded speeches from Batman Who Laughs. Oh, I know, you again, we're so sick of you, yet here you are because deep down you love it, don't you? Being bad with me. Or maybe it's because I'd kill you if you didn't show up. Either way, give me some good news, League. Tell me, have there been any new captures in your territories? Harley, Hunter of the Wasteland, Dr. Arkham. Nothing. Aquaman, Commander of the Black Fleet and Batsmith. Nay. Diana, Queen of the Underworld, Batmage. Each you have a new prisoner not to be meddled with. Understood. Mr. Miracle, Guardian of New Apocalypse, Darkfather. Superman has almost succumbed to the anti-life. So you can see him here in the projection. And we see this long bunch of Batmen going ahead and basically ruling the world, so everything Dan DiDio wanted. Well done. I brought you here to receive good news. Perpetua has destroyed another universe. Earth 22. They fought pointlessly. Out of 52, only 8 remain. Once they are gone, our queen and I will remake the universe as we please. And you, for your service, will each be given a planet where you can watch over those you would protect. Diana, can you hear me? Batman, how? When John set up a psychic link, I built my own version of the signal, just in case. So, a bat phone to our brains, one we can't hang up? Of course. Just please tell me you're far from here. Across the universe. But listen, you just melted down the jet. It's magic. I can never detect it, coming or going. If we create armor out of molten metal, we can infiltrate Castle Bat, use this tech to create a world to hide on whatever good is left. But a single planet as a multiverse falls, we have to get all the worlds back to win. I better remember how we lost. You were the last to fall, though. What happened? And then we cut to this artwork that is trying to resemble the ending to Justice League Scott Snyder run, but at the same time it also resembles the DC Rebirth with the hands on its page. I remember only glimpses. And then we see an inverse of that where they are all being mercilessly killed. What glimpses? What happened? Lost in thought? What? I've seen many worlds, Diana. On some we are allies, on others enemies. On a few, lovers, parents. I know you better than your Bruce did. Yeah, so clearly Batman Who Laughs has seen the Justice League cartoon. I'll ask once, what secret are you keeping? You know nothing about me, monster. Alright, maybe the issue is that you have too many other friends to tell your secrets to. What if I have my knights in the jungle lands burn the last of the parliament of trees? Diana, don't let him. And before that could happen, an arrow of bombing it comes out, and the crows protect their lord. Bruce? Is that you? Let me guess. You're wearing the cloak of erasure given to us by Satana that time we saved her father from Neron. Come on, I know you. You know me. You don't know Batman. Bruce, no. Nice coat. You look like someone here to kill me and dance on my grave. Lucky for you, you don't kill. I don't dance either, but I make an exception in your case. Have I told you that I know you listen to rock and roll, so I know you're a son of a bitch who needs to die. Bruce, you're one of a kind. Kill him. And sure enough, the portal opens where we get, oh my god, a ton of Batman versions of the Dark Multiverse. Let's see. The Batman who's Etrigan, the Batman Plastic Man, the Batman Clayface, the Batman Deathstroke, the Batman Crossbones, and the Batman Scarecrow. Okay, and also a giant, what looks to be a Aquaman Serpent Cthulhu Batman and a Batman Werewolf. Yeah, that sounds about right. Bruce, you have to run, damn it, Bruce. Enough! And this Batman with magic stops Diana from helping. Heh. And then the Kraken attacks Aquaman and who demands release, and the Kraken doesn't even can't really understand what he's saying. And then we see one other telling Harley Quinn to stay, and then Harley just says, "Look behind you, a giant vein." What? Just standing there, no fighting back? The brave men and women buried here, they'd be disappointed. I mean, what should you say to them right now? Just one word, really. Rise! And he summons the Black Lantern ring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone who hasn't read Jeff Johns is probably confused as all hell, but loves Scott Snyder. Where's the crown? Right there, on that guy's head. And the Dead Bats attack, leading to the epic Batman war zone of Dead Bats versus the Batman army. Also, we get a Penguin Batman, so that's something. We need to fight him like this, Diana. It's what I came to show you. Street battles, small wins, save the ones we can. No, listen, Bruce. The new prisoner, he might know a way. Don't even think about that route. Too dangerous, too many deaths. It's how we keep losing, damn it, Diana. Please, think strategically. Yes, think strategically. Because the one time I thought strategically, I punched my son in the face. Wait. No, we have to fix it all and find a way back. What do you want? It's not enough. We have to save what's left. I'm sorry. Hex, they're all yours. Yeehaw, sir! Finally a party where I'm the pretty one. Meanwhile, in deep space, Osnek, the planet made of living bone. Someone is circling through the bone planet, looking at a compass, and starts to use an axe to grind through the dirt, to grind through the bone, and then we hear a very familiar kind of voice. Well, what did you find it? It's the key to everything, damn it. Talk to me. Oh, I found it, all right. And now it's time for the main man to liven up this joint. Power chords. So we see Diana in the pits of hell, looking and contemplating, and then says, Enough. Diana, if you go down there, he might sense it. He might come for you. I am not powerful to fight beside you anymore. Alec, you should run now. I can't take this darkness anymore, and I can't fight the way Bruce wants. There has to be a way back to turn it all back. I will be here when you return, ready to fight beside you best I can. Thank you, old friend. Then we get to the cold ninth level of hell, and we see this person in a robe sitting in the ground, just simply saying, I expected fire and brimstone. I forgot the ninth level is a cold wasteland. Is that really you, Wally West? It's me, Diana, or what's left of him. Wally, you've been around the multiverse. Help me understand what I saw. I remember us all fighting Perpetua and the Batman Who Laughs. I remember harnessing some blue energy like the one emitting from you now, and Perpetua using an opposing power. Then I remember nothing until evil Batman was swarming the earth. Tell me, what happened? I will, but first just know that if I could erase everything I've done, I would. I'm so tired, Diana. I just want to be me again. I just want to be me. Yeah, so basically Diana for a period of time became Dr. Manhattan. So anyways, Diana lets Wally West hugs Wally West to let him rest. Come here, take this one moment to rest. Know that we're going to make this right, my friend. And now, tell me how we win. So then we get this gigantic 2-page spread that is essentially explaining every crisis, every major event that involves crisis energy, anti-crisis energy, all this crisis energy that loops the universe or something like that, and how these crises have connected to it, and how it's all connected, and how they bring up Dr. Manhattan, and how he tried to mend the fractures in the multiverse to heal the scars of the former crises, but his effects did not have the intended effects. The quintessence gathered the energy and gave it to all of you and the League to fight Perpetua. You harnessed all the connective energy, so you harnessed all the crisis energy and you battle. What happened in the clouds, I know only that it exhausted both forces in the blast so powerful it burned out the sun. Then Diana asks the obvious question, and you still have this connective energy in you, Wally. Can we use it to fight? No, I'm far too tired, far too weak. And she is far too strong. It's basically the translation to, if Wally West had access to his powers and wasn't weak, the story would have immediately ended right there, because clearly they established Dr. Manhattan as the ultimate badass. Then how is Perpetua still so powerful? The Batman Who Laughs. He promised Perpetua if she chose him over Luthor, he would provide her a conduit to the dark multiverse where the greatest crises are forever happening, as long as we remember them. That's why they kept us alive? Exactly. Maybe we can beat her at her own game. What if we enter those crises and harness that energy for ourselves? Use it to reshape the universe in our own way. I mean we create the first anti-crisis. I love that, you know. If you were really smart, you call all the two energies anti-crisis, direct crisis. Get it? AC and DC. Definitely not a homage to something at all. But go on, please, pretend I'm not here. Stay back, demon. All your friends aren't in my prison or new apocalypse. I could have them killed with a word. You kill them and then no one will remember the crises. You'll no longer have a way to feed the power to your queen. But I have my own plans. So let's not fight. Right now, my knights have Swamp Thing at their mercy. How you like them arms, bitch? Now, you help me play. You play your part, and on the other side of this, I will honor my promise. I will give you and all the good people Petra holds captive on her alternate antenna, a planet of your own. You will be safe. You have my word. But fight me, and I will hurt you and your friends in ways you can't even imagine. You can't outplan me, Diana. Let me guess the strategy here. First you knock me out, then you go dip your arm in the cold and where the invisible jet was melted down, and suddenly you have a shield to hide behind. See, that's the thing, monster. You know Bruce, he make a shield. But this isn't his story. Heh, so you make a weapon. A sword? No, I already made it. And it wouldn't just be a sword. And Diana kills the Batman Who Laughs with an invisible electric chainsaw. The chainsaw of truth. Then the Batman Necromancer says, My God, it's happened. Crow? Yes, children, he's gone. You were his favorite three, so you should know. It's time to initiate his true plan. One of the crows activates the upside-down smiley face of a frowny face of the Watchman buttons. Goblins, prepare the body of the final Bruce Wayne. Long and behold, a door opens up revealing what appears to be a Dr. Manhattan Bruce Wayne. So we're clearly going with Dan DiDio's dream. Rah! And after the burger, I'll tell you what after the burger. Rock, you're gonna take those stinking fries and ram them. Rock, come on. The fight's happening now. Now? The big one? All of us? One last fight. Everyone together. To be continued. And we see Batman holding up Rock with his lower half being completely missing. Which leads to the question how he's even breathing. Or even talking. So yeah, that was the first issue of Dark Knight's Death Metal, and like I said, this is not a story to get into if you're just starting comics, because you have to read tons and tons and tons and tons of content to get what's going on in here. Like, I'm all for DC trusting fans to know this stuff, but they also have to be, usually the first issue has to be some way of organically giving you the more important information. Like, they don't even say, why isn't Luthor no longer working for Perpetua? When was she working with Perpetua? And when did the Batman who's the Batman Who Laughs? What's with the multiverse Batman stuff? And why is Batman all over the place? So, yeah. And the artwork, okay, here's the thing. The artwork's really good. I really love the artwork. It's that ugliness vibe I'm getting that is intentional to give this gritty, dark ugliness to it. Like, I'm not saying, Greg Capullo is good artist. I'm just saying that Greg Capullo, if he was set out to say, okay, I need you to make this story, I need you to make it look so ugly as possible. And then he'll say, okay, just give me enough time. And sure enough, long and behold, we got Dark Knight's Death Metal to make this ugly vibe of despair and destruction and death. And even the advertisement played a song by Marilyn Manson, Worship My Wreck, where Batman Who Laughs throws Batman the Normal down a pit. So, yeah, we're clearly going metal all the way. So, yeah, and there are said to be a ton of tie-ins coming this way soon. singular tie-in issues, like who are the Batman, the Trinity Crisis, and all this stuff. And I'm really looking forward to all this stuff, all this material and everything. But yeah, if you're new to comics and everything, or don't have the general knowledge of what's going on, I would steer clear of this, because you would probably lose your mind trying to figure out where the hell everything is at this point. I mean, and considering how DC Comics has kind of failed at that, like I did hear they were preparing to release a guidebook. Okay, and on Instagram, there's an Instagram story, I believe, where they post an issue 0, where it's just a few pages of Diana being shown the DCU map by Swamp Thing. So we got that. But for me, I ultimately enjoyed this issue. But for a new reader, they will likely be lost all the way. So you're probably best doing the research to catch up in order to understand what the hell is going on. And there are certainly sites that do provide information about where things are going, but from what was said about issue 2, the issue is featuring Wonder Woman roaming the dark multiverse in a Batman monster truck with Swamp Thing riding shotgun. Yeah, we're really going metal. And one of the other things is that, okay, so I am curious to know where they're going to go with this. Like, without Dan DiDio around, without certain people around, I'm curious to know how they're going to tell the story without now their big guiding leader to not be there, and Jeff Johns working on the DCU stuff. So yeah, it's going to be interesting where this ends, and if this will be a huge shift forward for DC Comics. But we'll see. We'll see. So, those were my thoughts on Dark Knight's Death Metal and my overview of it. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. If you really like, comment, subscribe, and donate, stay tuned for more. And let's go metal one last time.